Hey, this is Robyn. It's February 2018, and I want to talk about my painting titled She is Golden. And you might hear some neighbor sounds like dogs barking and traffic and stuff, but I'm outside in my backyard. And I want to talk about this painting because I think people have had a really strong reaction to it. Some of my work, every painting gets a different response. And I'm always fascinated to hear from people what they feel from what I've painted. A lot of times I know what I'm feeling when I paint, and sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't know the story I'm trying to tell, or, and my images all come out very organically. I don't plan anything. I just start painting. So that's what's so interesting about it, is that it's kind of intuitive and I guess guided from a deeper place in me. So that's another reason why I find it really interesting, to hear what people have to say. And this painting, it's titled She is Golden, and I started with the raw umber, like I usually do. I did not coat the canvas with raw umber like I used to do. These days I seem to be kind of just starting with raw umber and putting down a rough drawing, like the lines just kind of come, whatever it's going to be. I used to coat the entire canvas with raw umber, a wash, and then play with that, but I don't do that anymore. At least I haven't been. I usually just work right on the white canvas and just start drawing with raw umber. So that's how she started, and I wanted to use yellow and golden colors, and there's cadmium yellow medium, and there's an ochre in there, golden ochre, and there's also gold paint, metallic gold paint, for the disc behind her head. So here she is, and I kind of knew what I was feeling, but I didn't fully know what she was going to become. And to me, the hat she's wearing is a crown. And I've painted a lot of queens, and most of the queens I've painted have these beautiful ornate crowns with jewels, and they're very high and very tall. If you look at my paintings, such as the Queen of Hearts, or Dreaming Queen, or any of them really. I mean, look at the crowns. They're very ornate. They're very detailed, and they are always jeweled. And this queen, she's a queen, but her crown has been battered, and she's been through a lot, and the jewel has fallen out of her crown, but the gold is still there. And I wanted to use this blue. Actually, there are two blues. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but there's more of like an aquamarine down here, and it goes into this rich sky blue cerulean. And her eyes are a combination of different blues. And anybody who knows my work knows that for a time I was closing the eyes on my paintings because someone had commented that it was really strong and unnerving, but I also felt that way myself. And it felt better, to put forth these images that were a little more calming by closing the eyes, but I'm not closing the eyes anymore. And what this queen I'm feeling from her, it's interesting because my last painting was She Dreams in Color, and that got I think over 100 likes on Facebook, and it was pretty quick. Everybody was like, quick, I love this, it's beautiful. And that one also has already found a home, but this one did not get as many likes, either on Facebook or Instagram. And I'm wondering, I'm like, this is interesting. It's telling me something. And please excuse the shadow there. That's a shadow from the tree. It's a really sunny day out today. So, I'm like wondering, but then at the same time, there were a few people who wrote to me privately and told me that they felt an incredible amount from this work. There was one friend in particular who's a writer, and said that she felt this painting needed to be seen and needed to be out in the world. And she said that she felt this painting is kind of what we need right now, and it's very timely, even though it might not appear to be so. And she used the term, she's a writer, so her words are beautiful. She used the words confrontational eyes of peace. And I want to just show the eyes in this painting. The eyes are made of different blues, aqua blues, indigo blues, and gold. And they are kind of looking upward to the left, to the left side of the canvas. And one of my friends said because I titled this "She is Golden," and one of my friends said she is the sun. And I think she really hit on that, because as I've been looking at this painting and trying to figure out what I'm saying with this, I'm thinking that she is the sun. I was thinking as I painted this, I thought, is this the sun or is this the moon? Because it's golden, and I know the moon can look golden, but this looks like the moon, right? And I've put the moon in the background, especially of my queens, in a lot of them, as this round disc. And here it is, and yet it's very golden, and it could be the sun. And what I'm seeing in this painting, and excuse the shadow, there's a really good image of her on my website if you'd like to, see a really higher quality image that doesn't have the shadow in it. Please go to my website, www.robynbellospirito.com. But for now, I really wanted to talk about her. Maybe I'll just show her eyes. And I love that term, confrontational eyes of peace, because the word confrontational implies something that is a little bit of friction and not comfortable. Confrontational implies almost aggressive, and yet the word peace, peace is peace. They are words that don't normally go together, and yet I think in these times, I think what my friend is saying, and I'm thinking also just about these times that we're in the world, all the things going on around the world, that people are standing up and saying what they feel, and that there is a movement of a lot of people being peaceful in the face of being confronted with opposition, being confronted with pain, being confronted with violence, and people standing up so strong but very peacefully in the face of difficulty and war and violence, and particularly here in America with the gun violence that's been happening, and the school shootings, which are just beyond tragic, and I'm not even going to try to find words for that. But I actually did this painting that day, the day I found out about that, even though that wasn't my intention, that for the painting to have anything to do with that. That was the one in Florida. There are no words for things like that. But my friend who made the comment about confrontational eyes of peace, she said that this queen needs to be seen. And I think it's interesting that this queen has not received a lot of likes. And I think it's because, honestly, this is not as beautiful a painting as some of the others I've painted. Her crown isn't perfect. Her face is sunken and with shadow, and excuse that shadow right there, but her cheekbones are standing out. She looks hungry. She looks tired. She looks like she's been through really quite an ordeal. And I mean, I can make this personal and compare it to whatever I'm going through in my life right now with my health issues. and other things going on in my life, but mostly health. But I've always felt, I even had this on my website, I've always felt that the more personal something is, the more universal it is, because everybody can relate to sadness or happiness, beauty or ugliness, grief, sorrow, joy. You know, everybody has these emotions. So the more personal something is, the more universal it is. That's my belief. So I make my paintings personal. I guess I do them from a deeper place. Like I was saying, I don't plan them. And these eyes, I mean, they are just, I feel peace from them. I feel peace from looking at her. And the overall, the painting might not be the most pretty of the work that I've done. And yet, and please excuse me, I have a cold, so I probably sound horrible, but you know, this might not be the prettiest painting I've ever done, but boy, it might be among the strongest, I think, in the emotion, with the way that, you know, the things I'm hearing from people who are responding to it. There are a lot of people who are not really responding to it, and maybe it's because it's not so pretty. It's easy to respond to something that's pretty, but to respond to something that's not pretty but has a deeper beauty to it. And I really think that she is golden means, yes, of course, I used the color gold. I used even orange, ochres, cadmium yellow, the different kinds, and gold, you know, gold paint itself. But I think that, yes, she's golden, and I'm thinking that's the moon, and I'm thinking that's the moon going down behind her, and that she is facing the sunrise of a new day, and that she is basked in the golden light of the new sun of the new day. And I'm also thinking that her eyes are the light that shows that she is shining brightly from her core. So she might not have the outer accoutrements for beauty, such as full cheeks, rosy cheeks, and a full crown and jewels and everything, but she is shining and glowing with the light from within through those eyes, those confrontational eyes of peace. And I think this painting's pretty important. And I thank everybody who listened to this video and my thoughts about this painting. Feel free to add comments below. I always love to hear what people think. Please be kind, always. And yeah, I think she's got something big to say. And thank you to those who have shown an interest in my work and continue to hear me and see what I do. And just one other thought is that I did paint this with only my right eye, because I recently had eye surgery. So this was painted only with my right eye. My vision is slowly coming back, but it's taking time. So I just wanted to add that as a little interesting thing, also so that I remember it in the future when I watch this. Okay, thank you so much, and peace and love and blessings to everybody.